It's me, Mr. V from Mr. V's World here on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to my channel, my podcast, and leave plenty of comments. Okay, let's get on with the show. Today I'm going to be discussing the reasons why 40-year-old plus men go after young ladies when they are already committed and married or in a relationship. Okay. The reason I'm talking about this and bringing this up is really quickly. My girlfriend, who is considerably younger than me, she's 23 actually, and I'm 47. And we've been dating for almost 2 years. Anyway, as of lately, she has been getting approached and hit on by a plethora of late 30s, definitely mid 40-year-old men, some of which are married and have significant others. We have a very open, communicative relationship. So we talk about everything underneath the sun. This is why our relationship works. But I'm making this podcast because of a few incidences that have occurred for her and towards her by, yes, older guys, considerably older, that have been definitely coming on to her, putting it out there in a very strong fashion. And we have definitely spent many hours breaking this down. So I want to share with you our thoughts and her experiences in particular, and hopefully shed some light as to why these men are basically falling over themselves to approach and entertain the thought of getting with, in particular, Izzy, who you may know from my videos here on YouTube. You can check her out. She's on plenty of them. And the fact that they're married, a lot of these guys are married, some of them, is kind of daunting. It's disconcerting. Now, she tells me some of the following stories without mentioning any names, places, or times, or any of that stuff, so I don't get anyone in trouble whose wife is listening in on this or girlfriend's listening in. There was one incident where a gentleman had basically befriended her, and the long and short of it was and is he made some passes at her and pretty much got to the point of expressing his interest and telling her or letting her know that she was highly attractive, which she is, at least in my eyes, and I guess the fact that she models kind of backs that sentiment up. So me being her significant other, her man, I don't have a problem with men oogling or even appreciating her in one form or another. That's par for the course. But we both kind of take notice of the fact that a lot of this is inappropriate because of the standing of the status, of some of these men who have wives at home and whose wives actually have been delivering their babies in the last period of time, months, in one particular guy's instance. So why do 40-year-old men do this? Is it midlife crisis? Is it seeking attention, or trying to actually, for lack of better words, instigate an affair or get some sort of sexual episode happening on the side for them? And my personal, and I will get into what my girlfriend says about it, as far as her stories are concerned, my personal take on it as someone who is in that age category of mid-40s is, I think men in general terms, internationally speaking, I'm not just talking about American men, but I'm talking around the world. I think men one day wake up and they realize that they are at the halfway point and their life is going to be over in the next 40 something odd years, because it just will expire. That's how it goes. And they forgot that, one, time is of the essence, and two, they are remembering all of a sudden, thanks to younger girls walking around and becoming of age, etc., that they remember that it's been many years since they've had that, and girls in their prime, so to speak. For instance, Izzy is in her prime at 23, and she just turned to 23, from 22. And something in these girls awakens some semblance of intrigue and desire that maybe is missing at home. Now, I know what you're going to think. You can think I'm going to say, oh, well, it's the wife's fault that they let themselves go, or that they get fat, or that they don't want to put out for sex, or the sex that they do delivers once a year. And yeah, I was going to say that, but that would be pretty crappy of me. And that's part and parcel of it. But primarily, I think these guys are in their midlife crisis and want to rekindle what they once had. I mean, think about this, people. If you're 47 or 48, when was the last time you bedded somebody who was 22 or 25? I mean, think about it. If you got married at age 24, because guys like to do that. We like to wife our girlfriend up, especially if she's hot or beautiful, or, you know, she's giving us what it is that we like, which primarily is respect, attention, affection, and sex. Let's call it what it is. Guys are simple. We got 4 buttons, and women have 15,273 buttons, and all of which you have to find out where they're located. So I think these guys have realized, hey, dude, this is my voice talking to myself, and myself is telling me it's been quite a while. So in Izzy's instance, coming back to her full circle, she is a very vivacious, lively individual who's open-minded and with a big fat smile, and she's got kind of this baby face, Marilyn Monroe symmetrics, and curves in the right places. Believe me, I can attest to that. And she's tall, and her weight is in order to her body. So you have all these things happening for her, and she's very much a classy lady, very much a classy young lady. I think these men, the older men, I'm not talking about the young guys. When I say young, I mean 20-something. The older men, they are accustomed, or they do desire, because of their maturity level, someone who is ladylike, classy, feminine, okay? Feminine. I don't mean stripper chick or, you know, club chick mentality, but feminine. And for one, Izzy represents that. But what she brings to the table, her in particular, is she has a maturity level far beyond her years, which is the exact reason why I am with her. I'm not with a typical young lady with a 24-year difference from me, and I would not want that either, and I have never desired that. So that's a disclaimer. So in her case, she absolutely attracts these men like nobody's business. It's pretty much every week the same story I get from her. Different person, same exact story. And we break it down, and she suggested that I talk about this in the show. So here we are. So getting into further details and kind of jumping around a little bit, one gentleman in question is married and has a 6-month-old baby, and literally made some off-the-cuff remarks, thus trying to stimulate some sort of correspondence and real-time chat that pretty much involved a lot of sexual overtones and innuendos. I won't get into the particulars, but trust me, they are there. Another individual, this is all within a 3-week, 4-week time span, is married, has been married for 17 odd years plus, lives with his wife lives with him, and he's busy out and about under the guise of conducting business and going to seminars, whilst basically taking my girlfriend out along for the ride. And the reason for that is she is very interested in some of the type of work this particular individual does, and hopefully, or hoping to learn some tricks of the trade. Let's just leave it at that. So of course, you know, being invited to a seminar or going out for dinner after the seminar, it's in line. It's not that big of a deal. However, what becomes a big of a deal when this person is contacting her every single day and bringing up excuses as to meet, which of course sends a red flag to me. I'm old school. I've been around the block. I know what's going on far before the time that she figures it out, because she's much younger. She hasn't been on the planet long enough to figure it out. So after I probed a few questions and we got down to it, it turns out the guy definitely has been exceeding the borderline and kind of trying to deliver things under the wire. And when I found out about this and we got to the particulars, I pretty much set it straight and called it for what it was. A feeble attempt to escalate things into some sort of sexual manner, which obviously is unprofessional on his part, and it's inappropriate because you are married, and on top of that, she's in a committed relationship, i.e. me. Now, man to man, I would have a few words, but the type of guy that I am, I'm not the jealous type or the envious type or anything like that. So I just put it in the hands of my significant other and just bring her up to speed and pretty much tell her what game is being played underneath her very nose. Well, once the light bulb went on for her, of course, she reacted strongly against what had been going on, which is all these subtleties, So again, the reason for this podcast is I'm hoping that women who are in committed relationships realize, and I want them to know that behind closed doors, when you're not looking, your man potentially is not just having a passing fancy watching, the Starbucks girl, barista behind the counter do what she does, but on occasion, he is handing out business cards, asking for Facebook information, all under the disguise of, mutual interest. So I know that these guys step way out of line, and I'm positive that if you, the wife, the girlfriend, the significant other, were standing there, they would not operate in the manner of which I've heard about directly from my girlfriend. And I know that other girls out there deal with this 24/7. I mean, if you're attractive, you are considered sexy or any of these things, then there's no reason as to why a guy would not give you the time of day. Of course, that's what we do. We look and we discuss, we talk, we cajole, and hopefully we get lucky and get your phone number, your Facebook page, and or whatever else we want from you. And believe me, women, if you're listening, and guys too, it's true. First of all, guys and girls really can't be friends, not truly, unless there's no attraction there. When I say no attraction, I mean no attraction, not break glass in case of stranded on some sort of island and then you want to have sex. No, I mean no attraction, physically, that is. It's rare that that's going to happen. So potentially, an attractive woman who meets a man in any circumstances at the bus or in a taxi or at the airport, the first thing that guy is doing is scanning you, and he's going to put you in a box of some kind. Wow, she's attractive. Okay, she goes in the attractive box. Wow, she's sexy. She's got nice tits or something. She goes into that box. Or, oh, she's intriguing. She's interesting. She's smart. She's brilliant. If I wasn't married, then I definitely would ask for her phone number. All that goes in our heads at some place, somewhere, way in the back on a database. And what appears to be some friendly conversation really is more or less a playing card for future reference in case the marriage fails, in case the girl breaks up with you down the road. You still have contact with X, Y, and Z person who you met like last spring somewhere in Ottawa, Canada, on your way to a convention, whatever it is. So guys, we look at women as potentials. That's it. That's the bottom line. We either put you in the potential box or we discard you right away because, one, you're overweight, not our type, you're not attractive enough, or something to that effect. Women, I don't know what happens to women because I'm not in their brains, but that's definitely how men work. So again, midlife crisis for 40-year-old men who are flirting with younger girls, women. Is that the case, or is it just because that's what we do? I want to know from you guys, even if you're younger, let me know, why do you think men, regardless of their relationship status, still put it out there? I know the reason, but I want to hear it from you. I am Mr. V from Mr. V's World. I cannot believe I spoke for 15 minutes without taking a break. I guess I just got a lot to say here. Stay tuned for more, and please subscribe to my channel, rate my video thumbs up, and if there's a commercial here, why don't you just click on that commercial so I can make some more money? Thank you. Bye.